o'clock. We're going to jump right into it. We are going to do another body weight strength class today. Hopefully, on the last one, you saw that you can get a lot out of it just by using your body weight. So what we're going to do after a brief warm-up is we're going to do 3 rounds of minute intervals. But unlike we use intervals in other workouts, which is more like HIIT training, this is just time to kind of, honestly, more than anything, keep me on track. What I really want you to focus on is form and execution on these. That's being really mindful of what muscles you're working, and I'll run through that as we go. So we're going to do a real quick warm-up. It's not going to be very long because a lot of these exercises are going to be in and of themselves dynamic warm-ups. So go ahead and stand with your feet nice and wide. And we're going to start to lunge side to side, gentle lunges. We're not trying to get deep into the movement here. You'll notice my knees point the same direction as my toes. My hips are shooting back. So my knees are not going forward. My hips are going back like I'm sitting down on something behind me. And then as you feel comfortable, you can start to move a little faster. Be really mindful of your knees here, especially as we get started. Sometimes they can feel a little tight, so just make the movement smaller. Try stepping your feet a little wider. It may seem counterintuitive, but that can actually take a strain off your knees. And weight should be grounded in your heels. Go ahead and speed it up a little more if that feels okay. Okay, we're going to go into a brief shoulder warm-up, and then we're going to jump right into it. So stand up nice and tall, feet are about hip distance apart, shoulders back and down, chest lifted, thumbs pointed up, and we're just going to lift and lower our arms. It's really important to make this slow and methodical. Don't just swing your arms up and down. It's slow and methodical, shoulders rolled back and down. One more this way. Now we're going to point our thumbs down, same thing. Keep going. Okay, we're going to bring our arms to our side at 90 degrees and just up and down. Hold at the top and pump. Keep those shoulders back and down. Now draw little circles with your elbows. Other direction. Okay, we're going to end with some rear delt flies. Lean forward, flat back, thumbs pointed out. Arms come up parallel with the floor, neutral neck. So you're looking kind of slightly down towards the floor here. Now thumbs point together, same thing. Really focus on keeping those shoulders back and down. Okay, we're going to come right into our first exercise. So this first one is it's actually kind of something we use as a warm-up sometimes. You're going to stand with your left foot forward, right foot back, all 10 toes pointed forward. Really pay attention to that. Even if you need to hold on to something, this is going to help protect your knees to have all those toes pointing in the same direction. Either bring your arms overhead or to your side, and you're just going to lift and lower that back heel. We're going to do this side for 30 seconds and then switch. Lift up through the chest. Whoop. And change sides. Right foot forward, left foot back, all 10 toes pointed forward. Lift and lower the back heel. Lift up through the chest, shoulders back and down. Few more seconds. Okay, move my mat up some, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so you've got a couple options. You can just come to this plank position where your arms are like this, okay? They're stacked one on top of the other, so it's the slightly different position. And either stay right here, focus on a nice straight line, or you're gonna open up to the side and open up to the other side. Really squeeze your shoulder blades together as you open up. This really activates your back. Remember, these are slow and methodical. Ten more seconds here. Everyone counts, or just hold right here. Okay, and come back up. So next, we're going either back into these side lunges, feet nice and wide, where you just lean side to side, or you're going to lunge to one side, touch with the opposite hand, and look up at this arm as you rotate. Sink back in the heel. This is a lot to think about. Keep that weight in the heels. That's what's going to protect your knees. One more. Okay. We are going back down for either, okay, so we've got a couple options here. You can either do a plank walkout. This is where with slightly bent knees, you walk out, hold a plank for a second, and walk the hands back in. Or you're going to come into what's called a beggar's plank. See, my hands are pointed up like I'm begging, like I've got my hands out in front of me. And you'll feel the difference here. This really activates your back more. You kind of are forced to balance a little bit more on your elbows. So those are your two options. Either way, we're really getting into our back here. If you're doing the plank walkout, make sure you squeeze your behind and you have a nice flat back as you come up. 5 more seconds. And go ahead and come up. Okay, so we're going into a warrior 3. We're going to start on our right foot, and you may just want to stay right here. Otherwise, you're going to lift and lower, almost like you're doing kind of like a deadlift with your body weight. One more, and we're going to switch sides. Okay, set up for the other side, left leg. Oops. 10 more seconds. Last one. Okay, we're going to do a backward forward lunge with a leg lift. So what you can do, start with this right leg forward, left leg back. You can either stay here and just go up and down, or you're going to lunge back, come forward, nice strong core, extend the leg out. This is a slow movement where you're really focusing on what you're doing. And other side, left foot forward, lunge back, either stay here up and down or step forward, extend the leg out, step back slow and controlled. Don't worry if you're not getting these the first round, we're doing 3 rounds. Okay, down on the mat. So next, we're going to do what's called a cobra hold. So on these, you're going to come up in a cobra like you do in yoga. But what you're really going to focus on is squeezing the bottoms of the shoulder blades together. So you're squeezing them down and together, and that's where the hold is coming from. So sometimes it helps to lift your fingertips up and press through the bottom part of your palms. So shoulders are pulled back and down, elbows pointed directly back. You should feel this at the bottom of your shoulder blades and in your lower back. 10 more seconds here. And come back up. We're back on that warrior. So right foot is forward, left foot is back. Bend into the right leg, arms overhead, heel is up. Lift and lower that back heel. If you want to make it more intense, bend that back knee while you do it. Just make sure if you do that you're not pressing this knee over the toe too far. And switch sides. Five more seconds. Okay, so we're back on this plank where our forearms are stacked. And that may be exactly where you stay. Otherwise, very slow and controlled, you open up to one side, squeeze that elbow back, slowly lower, other side. Slow and methodical. Or you just hold right here. Check out your form. Make sure you have a nice straight line with the body. Five more seconds. And come up. So we're coming back into the side lunge. So remember, you can always be here. Just sinking your hips back, going at a depth that's comfortable on your knees, or you're gonna sink deeper, touch opposite hand, opposite foot, and rotate up. Again, this is slow and deliberate. You're really focusing on form and what muscles you're working. Almost there with this exercise. 3 more seconds, last one. Okay, we're coming into those plank walkouts, or you're doing the beggar's plank, where you've got your hands facing up. You're on your forearms with your hands facing up. So if you're doing the walkout, flat back, slightly bent knees. Walk out, hold for a beat. Set yourself up in a good plank. Don't be real hasty to come back out of it. At the top of the movement, slight bend in the knees, squeeze the behind, flat back brings you up. Walk out, take a second to set up that plank. Walk it back, bent knees, squeeze behind, flat back, come up. Five more seconds. Okay, we're going to come into that warrior three. We're starting with the right leg standing, arms overhead. Grab a piece of furniture if you need to. Hinge forward, and you may stay right here. Otherwise, power down through that heel. Squeeze behind to come up and go right back down. Squeeze behind. Make sure you're not locking out the knee. And set up for the other side. Left foot, slight bend in the knee, flat back. Squeeze the behind to bring you up. Last one. Okay, so either just step this left leg back and come into this up and down lunge, or push off this back toe, get nice and tall, extend straight out, nice and slow, step back, slow and control this whole movement. Don't just kick it out. This isn't cardio. This is core stabilization. This is balance. It's even flexibility in this leg you're extending. Other side. Left leg standing, step the right leg back. Slow and control. Extend out, come back. Last one. Okay, we're coming back to this cobra hold. So hands are on either side of the chest. Press up. Pull the shoulder blades back and down. Roll the shoulders down. Press through the bottom part of the palms. If you're pressing through the fingers, you're going to tend to feel it more in the shoulders and the tops of the arms. You don't want to feel it there. You should feel this in the bottom of the shoulder blades and the lower back, almost nowhere else. Make sure you're breathing. Sometimes we tend to hold our breath or breathe really shallow when we've got this pressure on our bellies. 10 more seconds. Almost there. One more round after this. Okay, back up. Right foot forward, left leg back, arms overhead. Move that heel up and down. Couple more on this side and other side. Heel goes up and down. Make sure that left knee is behind the left toe. Few more seconds. Okay, we're back in this plank with our forearms stacked. And remember, you're either staying here, focus on form, or you're opening up slowly. You're taking the time to squeeze back and slowly lower down. We're really thinking through what we're doing here. Or we're just holding right here. Few more. And and come up. Side lunges. Okay, so our feet are nice and wide. We sink back, left hand to the right foot. Reach up, follow the hand with your gaze. Other side. So this is not just a windmill. We're sinking down into the side lunge. We're using our core to rotate us. This can be an easy, like, PE exercise we did in junior high, or this can be core and legs and mobility. Last one. Okay, we're back to the plank walkouts or the beggar's plank. If you're in the beggar's plank, you're just forearms flat against the floor. Your hands are going to naturally lift up a little bit. If you're doing the walkout, bend the knees, flat back, walk out. Don't cheat yourself. Set up in the plank before you come out of it. Squeeze your butt, have a flat back when you come up. Almost there. You got 7 more seconds on this to wrap up the one you're on. Okay, we're going to set up for our warrior 3. Right foot forward, arms overhead, grab furniture if you need to, slight bend in this right leg, hinge forward, squeeze the behind to bring you up. This is legs, it's core, it's balance, it's even mobility. One more on this side, and we switch. Other side, arms overhead, slight bend in the left leg, drive that left heel down through the floor as you come up. Squeeze the behind. Almost there. Last one. Okay, backward forward lunge. So set up a right foot forward, left leg back. Maybe stay here or push off that back leg. Extend out slowly, come back. Again, this is not cardio. Doesn't mean it won't get you out of breath. But we are focused on moving through these slowly. That really activates our core. Core is an essential part of balance, amongst other things. Switch sides. Right foot back. Either stay here or press off the back foot. Extend out. Step back. Last one. Okay. Cobra hold. Hands to either side of the chest. Press to the bottoms of the palms. Pull the shoulders back and together. Thirty more seconds. Ten more seconds, don't give up. Strengthening our lower back and those stabilizer muscles in our shoulders keep us upright. And push back into child's pose. Walk out the hands as far as you can. And then walk the hands to the right. And to the left. Okay, come into a tabletop. So I think everybody by now knows cat and cow. We're not going to really do cat and cow here to start with. Instead, envision you're doing cat and cow at this upper part of your back between your shoulder blades. So you're going to push into the floor and just round, try and separate your shoulder blades as much as you can. And then let your chest drop down between your arms as low as you can. So it's like cat and cow just between your shoulder blades, if that makes sense. So we're trying to separate our shoulder blades as wide as we can. And then we're trying to bring them together as close as we can. And now go into cat and cow. Slide the chest forward, drop the belly, and round the back, tuck the chin. Couple more. Okay, take that right arm, thread it under the left arm, and drop down on the shoulder. And then see if you can open this left arm out to 90 degrees above your head. So your elbow's at 90 degrees, but your hand's right over your head. This just deepens your twist a little bit more. And slowly come up, other side. Reach the left arm under. Walk that right arm out to 90 degrees above your head. This is one of those stretches you tend to feel in entirely different places on each side of your body. And slowly come up. Step the left leg forward. Tilt the pelvis under. Reach the right arm up and to the left. Keep that pelvis tilted, like you're trying to tuck your tailbone under. That's what really helps lengthen right through the front of the thigh. Okay, now we're going to take the same arm and we're going to rotate to the left. See if you can just kind of shrug that right shoulder up and then twist a little bit more to lengthen. And come out of it, same arm, we're going to reach straight back. And come out of it, other side. Right leg forward, left leg back. Tilt the pelvis. Left arm reaches up and reaches towards the right. Keep that pelvis tilted. And come out of it. Reach this left arm, same arm, with a rotation to the right. Tilt the pelvis, and then shrug that left shoulder up. See if you can twist a little bit more. This is a real subtle movement here, but just stretches that hip flexor in a slightly different angle. And come out of it, same arm, left arm reaches up and back. a little bit harder to tilt the pelvis here, but try. This kind of gets in almost to the inner thigh a little bit. Okay, come out of it, come all the way to a standing position. We're going to interlace our hands behind our back, roll our shoulders back and down. If you shrug up, if you're here, instead come to a wall, bring your right arm to 90 degrees, turn away from it, and then bring your left arm to 90 degrees and turn away from it. We're trying to get open through here. So if you're like this, you're not opening. We want open. And then from here, if you can keep this opening and lean forward, go ahead. If you really start to round your shoulders forward, don't do this. So if you can't come forward with your hands interlace, go ahead and unlace your hands and fold it forward. Go ahead and get the backs of those legs. You can even kind of turn side to side. We tend to get in the habit of stretching in this linear fashion, but sometimes if you turn just slightly one way or the other, if you squeeze something, if you bend something, you're going to hit different muscle fibers and realize like, oh yeah, this is a lot tighter than this linear muscle I've been stretching over and over again. Bend into the knees to come up. Okay, so this next one is just purely for shoulder mobility. And if this is hard for you, as long as it doesn't give you any sharp pains, I encourage you to start doing this every day. So what we're going to do is we're just going to follow what we can naturally do without really forcing anything. We're going to draw big circles with our arms all the way forward, all the way back. And we're going to follow our arm with our gaze. And opposite direction. So reach back and circle forward. So if something feels like it's sticking when you do this, it can be a couple different things. It could be that you need to work it out. Again, if you have a sharp pain, that's a whole different story, and you should modify however you need to not have the sharp pain. Go ahead and switch to the other side. But sometimes all we need to do is roll our shoulders back and down. I know I say that like 1,000 times, but it's so important because we tend to not have our alignment correct, which is just day-to-day life can be limiting, but especially when we exercise, go ahead and go the opposite way. It's important to avoid injury, but to also hit that full range of muscle fibers. If you can't do the full range of an exercise, then you're limited in what muscle fibers you're strengthening, so you're not going to be as effectively strong. And from an aesthetic standpoint, you will look different. Okay, now we're going to stretch our neck. So bring your left hand to the right side of your head, and we're just using the weight of the hand and nothing more to let our head hang over to the left. And then we're using the strength in our right shoulder to pull our right shoulder down. And then if it feels okay, we're going to start to turn our head towards our left shoulder. And then to come out of it, release the hand first, and then we're going to back out the way we came in. So first we're going to turn our head, then we're going to lift it up. Gently turn the head side to side, roll the shoulders. You may feel it takes a couple seconds for everything to get back to its natural length, so be careful with that. Pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to take the right hand, let it touch the left side of the head with just enough weight to let it drop down. Pull that left shoulder down. And then maybe you're going to turn and look at the right shoulder if it feels okay. So same thing on this side. To come out of it, release the hand first. Turn the head back forward, then lift it up. Slowly turn the head side to side. Roll the shoulders. Interlace the hands. Round the back. Really separate the shoulder blades. Kind of rotate side to side, little side stretches. And release. So I just want to say, like, I've been experimenting with different types of workouts, and I like to keep it fresh and mix it up. But at the same time, I'm very interested to see, I really want feedback as to which forms of exercise are more beneficial for you. I've got different demographics logged on, but to a large degree, I feel like everybody is kind of looking for the same thing just based on what I know about you guys. So let me know if you appreciate more of the body weight stuff. But one thing I do want to incorporate more of is the mindfulness of really paying attention to each exercise instead of just doing it kind of haphazardly. And I encourage you to carry this on throughout your daily movements. Really pay attention to what you're doing. When you bend over to pick up laundry, just don't bend over and round your back, pick it up. Make it methodical. Think about your foot placement. Brace your core, drive down through your heels. All of this matters. It's not just about exercise, it's about functional fitness, which is going to help you avoid injury. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget, Autumn has 1 o'clock chair yoga tomorrow, and I have 6:30 yoga on Thursday evening. And this weekend, our weekend yoga is going to be 10 a.m. on Saturday. We may have live yoga on Sunday. I'm keeping